My dear students of grade 10, welcome back to my English class. Once again, it's a RK English channel. Today, students, we are at unit number 11, Ethics and Morality, and we are going to discuss about its text. Reading first text. Before text, we have getting started. Look at the poster and talk about the qualities required to succeed. Students, here is a poster. We have that. These are some qualities that one individual should have all these qualities to be a successful one. So here are some qualities to be a successful: honesty, integrity, responsibility, punctuality, trust and respect, and leadership. These are the qualities that one must have to be a successful. And ethics and the morality is principle and the code of moral. And all these qualities, students, each and every individuals must have to be a successful one in real life. So it's all about your posture, and we have reading one text that is we will start with the picture. Here, look at the picture and answer the question. Students, have a look at the pictures. What do you think about the picture, and what do you see here? So have a look at the question first. So students, here is the question: what do you think the people are doing? So what do you think, students, people are doing here in the picture? So I can see the people. Obviously, students, they all are fighting and they all are making argument. So this is what I can see here in the picture. Why is it good or bad? Why, student, is it good or bad? No, this type of activities, this sort of activities, shouldn't be in the locality, in your street, and we should not promote all these activities. We should rather, and all these activities at the very first moment, rather promoting these activities, bad activities. So it's all about your picture, students. Now we have text reading first: wisdom of little girl. Wisdom, students, intelligence and the smarts, smarter one. Uh, so we have a paragraph first here. So let's start the text. I have written the meaning of words, some unfamiliar words like sledging and all. So I have written meanings in blue color, and you can see here, students. It was an early Easter. Sledging was only just over. Snow still lay in the yards, and water ran in streams down the village street. So it was an early Easter. I mean, it was the time of what you say, Christian holiday. Easter means Christian holiday. It is the day when there is a holiday, Christian holiday. Sledging means the sliding activities was just over, and snow was just over, but the snow was, still lying in the yard, in the area, and the water rain in stream down the village street, and there is still lying snow all around the ground, and the water entered the street. The little girls from different houses happened to meet in a lane between two homesteads where the dirty water, after running through the farm yard, had formed a large puddle. Students, one day two little girls accidentally meet each other and in a ground from different houses, and a type of pool which was formed there because of dirty water came in the street. One girl was very small, the other a little bigger. Their mother had dressed them both in new frock. The students, one girl was small and other was little bigger, and both were dressed, had been dressed very well by their mother, with the new frock. A little girl, one little one wore a little blue frock, the other a yellow print, and both had uh, kerchiefs on their head. So here is the word that is kerchiefs means. This is a headscarf, a piece of cloth, that is wear on head. So both one girl, the little girl, was wearing a blue frock, and the another girl was wearing blue frock. Another was wearing yellow print, and both were wearing also a scarf on their head. They have just come from church when they met, and first they showed their each other. Finery means it is April and the cloth, and then they begin, and finery means April, and begin to play. So they just have arrived from the church, and they started showing their new clothes to each other, and then they start, playing. Soon the fancy took them to splash about in the water. Here is the fancy means idea and the opinion took splash into about in the water, and the smaller one was going to step in the puddle. Puddle means pool, and the water pool, shoes and all, when elder checked her. What happened, students? After coming from the church, both they started to show their clothe each other, and they started to play. Very soon one idea came. What was the idea of playing in the water, and a smaller one was moving towards the pool with her shoes and all, when elder one saw her. Now move to the next paragraph. "Don't go in so," Malasha said. "See," then she cried on Malasha, "don't go there. Your mother will scold you. You know you will be scolded by your mother, so you don't go there. I will take off my shoe and stocking, and you to take yours of yours." And she told her that she to took off her shoes and stocking, and I would also took off mine. They did so, and then picking up their skirts, began walking toward each other through the puddle. Then water came up to Malasha ankles, and she said, "It's deep, Ayoklia, I am afraid." Then she told Malasha not to go ahead, and otherwise she would be scared. She would be scolded by his mother. "And I take my shoes, and you also take off yours," she told to Malasha. After doing all, this holding their skirts, and they both holding their skirts and began to walking each other, and they started to come closer from the dirty watering pool. But the water was almost it was almost Malasha's ankle, and it was very deep, and Alokia got afraid of this deepness. But the other girl, assured him, and not to worry, and that the pool wasn't that much deeper. She was assuring a little girl, a smaller girl. Then, when they got near one another, Alokya said, when they got near one another, Alokya said, "Mind, Malasha, don't splash, walk carefully." And when both were coming closer each other, and Alakya told Lasha to move carefully and not to splash water. She had hardly said this when Malasha plumped down her foot so that the water splashed right on the Alakya's frog. The frog was splashed, and so were Alakya's eyes and nose. And suddenly what happened when they were hardly to come closer each other, and meanwhile the Malasha fell her foot suddenly, and the water splashed on the face of and the frock of Alocius. The frog was splashed and the wore Alocius' eyes and nose, and there was splash of water all around the face of Alocius' eyes and nose. When she saw stain on her frock, she was angry and ran after Amalasha to strike her. So what happened, students? After splashing water on the face of Alokia, and she got angry and she rushed towards the Malasha to strike her, to hit her, and Malasha was frightened. Then Malasha got frightened of being hit, and she seemed that she had got itself into trouble, and then she felt that she was in trouble because Malasha, because Alokia is going to hit me, hit her. She scrambled, means to come out hurriedly out of the puddle. Then she hurriedly come out the puddle and prepared to run home. Just then Alokia mothers happened to be passing, and seeing that her daughter's skirts was splashed and her sleeves dirty. Yes, uh, during that time, meanwhile, a mother of Alakias, she was passing from there, and she had seen that her daughter's skirts were not clean and it was splashed with water, and the sleeves of that skirts was dirty, and she said, "You naughty." Then she started crying, "Dirty girl." Then she shouted on both of them, "Dirty girls, what you have been doing, what are you doing, how it happened?" "Malasha did it on purpose," replied the girl, and the Malasha did it on purpose. Then the Aloka told her mother that this is all done by Malasha only. She replied to her mother. At this, Aloka's mother seized Malasha and struck her on the back of her neck. Then Aloka's mother seized Malasha and she caught Malasha's, backside and back of her neck and strike on the back of her neck. And hit the back of her neck. Malasha began to bawl so that she could hear all down the street. Her mother came out, and Malasha cried in such a way that everyone could hear her voice, her cry, okay, in the street. And after then, what happened, students? Her mother came out. Malasha's mother came out after hearing the screaming of Malasha. What are you beating my girl for?" And then she cried, "And why you are beating my my daughter, my girl?" She sat and began scolding her neighbor, and then she started scolding the neighbor. And one word led to another, and they had an angry quarrel. The students, what happened? They they all, both of them, were throwing words each okay, on each other. And then the men came out and the crowd collected in street. Then the men also came out there, and there was a crowd in the street, and everyone shouting and no one listening. And everyone were shouting there, no one were listening. They all went on quarreling till one gave another a push. Then they started pushing each other, and they started quarreling, and the situation was going to be very, very tough for one. And the affair means case has become nearly come to blue, and the situation, the issue, and the matter was going to be very critical, and it's going to have a fight between among the people and the crowd. And when Alokia's old mother stepping in among them tried to calm them, then what happened in the meanwhile? Alokia's old mother and the grandmother, came there to calm down the crowd, and she came there to calm down the crowd so that she can do. "What are you thinking of, friend?" she said. "And what are you thinking of, friend? Is it right to behave so? This is not right to behave like this on a day like this. So this is our celebration day, and on this occasion we should not. This is our Eastern day, and we should not Christian holiday, and we should not quarrel each other on a day such on a day like this. It's time for rejoicing means cheering and not for such folly as this time. So students, what she told and everyone that we should not quite like this on such a auspicious day, and it was a day for rejoicing and making enjoy, having fun, and not to be silliness and foolish. They would not listen to the old woman and they nearly knocked her off her feet. So everyone would not listen to the woman, and she was trying to keep calm the crowd, but the crowd was out of the control, and she would not have been able to quiet the crowd. And finally, that old woman, was not able to make them calm, while the women were abusing each other. Okay, they all the women, they were keep assuming and throwing bad words on each other. Alyoka had wiped the mud off her frock. Then Alyoka the girl, she cleaned the mud off her on from her frock, and gone back to the puddle. So then Alokya cleaned her frog, muds from her frock, and then he went back to that pool. She took a stone and began scraping away the earth in front of the puddle to make a channel through which the water could run out into the street. Students then, she went back to the puddle, and she took a what sharp stone, and she started to digging the passage in front of that pool, so that the water can come out from that passage. Channel is a passage in a way we can say. And she started to making a passage, and in front of that puddle, so that water may come out and run out into the street. Presently, Malasha joined her, and with a chip of wood, chip means in the street, a piece of wood, with the would help her dig the channel. And then again, and then Malasha also joined her, and Malasha also helped her in digging the passage and digging the channel, and both of them were working to make a passage. And with the just as the men were beginning to fight, the water from the little girl's channel ran streaming into the street towards very place where the old woman was trying to pacify the men. Then what happened after making this channel or passage by the girls? The water was blowing through the that channels which was made by a girl, and then the water entered the street towards the woman towards the place where old woman was trying to calm the man. The girls followed it, one running each side of the stream. Yes, both of the girls were following this channel, flowing water channel, and each side of the little stream. So then, catch it, Malasha, catch it, shouted Alakya, while Malasha could not speak for laughing. But they, this, she shouted on Alakya. Malasha, she Alokya shouted on Malasha, catch it. She's talking about what? Catch it. There's a piece of that shred and a chip to catch it. While Malasha could not, but the Malasha was, she was laughing and she could not speak, but she kept laughing only. She could not speak anything, but she was very happy then, highly delighted, and watching the chief float along their stream. The little girl ran straight into the group of men, and the old woman, seeing them, said to the men, "What happened?" They both were very happy and delighting after watching, after seeing the floating piece of that wood along the stream, along the water, flowing water. They they both were very happy. Okay. And the little girl ran straight in the group of men, and that little girl, she rushed into the group of the men, and the old woman, seeing them, said to the men, Are you not ashamed of yourself? And the old woman, said that, are you ashamed of yourself? You should be ashamed of yourself to go fighting on account of these laziest. Ashamed, laziest mean ashamed, when they themselves have forgotten all about it. You should, you should be ashamed of yourself, to fighting on account of this laziest, this ashamed issues, and you have made this issue such a big, and so that you should be ashamed. And look at the girls, and they had forgotten all these things, and they have forgotten the past, and now they are playing happily together. Dear little souls, they are wiser than you. It means these little girls are wiser than you people. You are the fool, and you have made this small issue such a bigger one. And but the little girls are very happy. They had forgotten each and everything what happened in the past, and now they are happily playing with each other. Then the men looked at the little girl and were ashamed and laughing at themselves. Then the man started looking at the little girls, and he became ashamed and laughing, at himself. And when went back to his home, and all they have gone back to, though they all had gone back to their home. Except you turn, you become a little children. You shall in no wise enter in the kingdom of heaven. So this is the story, students, of a little girl, wisdom of little girls, and what is the moral and what do you learn from this story? So, students, we often see, in our locality or the street, when mostly when we see women fighting or arguing, making argument, and blaming each other about children issue. I think this is not good, and I don't support all these. I don't support, and I want don't allow, to promote all these activities in our locality. But what we have learned from the story, that we should not argue and fight about these little issue of small children. Instead of promoting it, we should end it at a very first moment. I think this is an example of wisdom that these two girls have shown in the story. With that, students, I come to the end of today's lesson and today's video. I'll be back very soon again with the next video. And thanks for watching. Subscribe, share, and like my video, students. And what I want to say you that, and if you are new to my channel, and do subscribe, and do press the bell icon so that you can get early notification about my next video. uh, See you in the next video, students. Till then, goodbye, have a nice day.